Have you ever just booted up zombies and just decided to make life absolutely awful for yourself? No? Well, that's probably because you're normal. You see, about a month or so ago, someone left a comment on one of my videos asking for a modified version of the reverse rainbow perk challenge. Now, I do apologize to whoever left that comment, as I can't recall on what video it was on, and therefore I can't actually find the comment. But essentially, this new version of the challenge, it wasn't too crazy, as there was only really one major difference, being I wouldn't be allowed to use the staffs, at all. Obviously, if you've ever played Origins and built the staffs, you will know they are some of the best wonder weapons we have ever had within zombies. But one is particularly useful for this challenge, being the ice staff, which once acquired you can complete a very simple side easter egg of shooting some burning carriages and get yourself a free zombie blood, which is needed for getting extra perks on Origins. But without that, I have to rely entirely on RNG. Which, if you've ever seen any one of my videos, you'll know my RNG is complete shit. But you see, I had to take it a step further too, didn't I? And the rules for this particular challenge are not just no staffs. I will not be using gobblegums. I will also only be allowed to spin the box twice, so if I get 2 stinkers, then that's just tough. As well as only being allowed to buy 2 war buys. I'm allowed to buy ammo for those guns, but I can only ever use 2 guns from the wall. Weapons that also appear from dig sites will also count for the respective alternatives. For instance, if I pull a KRM out of the ground, that counts as a war buy, and if I get a Drakon, that counts as a box hit. I will, however, be allowing the starting pistol and the reward gun for the 115 headshots, so in total I can only ever use 6 guns. So, yeah. Oh god. Before we get into this video, please do drop a like down below, as it really does help us out, and also let me know what other videos you want to see me do in the comments. And yes, I am doing this on Black Ops 3 Origins. I don't want to hear a word about it, okay? We've played a lot of BO2 Origins in the last few months, and this might be the most annoying challenge yet, so we're doing it on the easier game. Plus, there may or may not be another Origins video in like a week or 2 on Black Ops 2, so just shut up. And for those of you who may not know before we get into this is the order we will be grabbing our perks in. Electric Cherry is first, then followed by Quick Revive, Mule Kick, Speed Cola, Stamina Up, Double Tap, Juggernog, Widow's Wine, and finally ending with Deadshot. Little scary having literally the best half of the perks in the second half, but oh well. We started off strong. Boot up the generator, take out the round 1 zombies, and then round 2 pop the double points, and just get as many points as possible. Usually at this point, I would also buy the RK5, just for a little bit of safety until I reach the box. This time, that wasn't really a choice, as I needed to keep a hold of those wall buy options. Annoyingly as well, the box was at Gen 3, meaning I had to wait just a little bit longer until I could actually get something to kill zombies with. But with Gen 2 and now 3 activated, it was time for one of our box spins, and I get the M14. Like, M14 gang for life and all that, but this is not the time. We take our gun and we flip the round, and we end up getting Gen 4 turned on, and by the end of round 4, all but one of the generators are now turned on, with 5 being activated. And I gotta say, we are making moves in these early rounds, things are clicking into place, and I was just grooving my way through. Moving on to round 5, and the final generator is on, and I'm ready to start upgrading guns and spinning the Wonder Fizz. Even though I had the points to begin spinning the Wonder Fizz, I actually opted to wait. With the Panzer looming in the near distance, I wanted to make sure that our great start actually had a chance of progressing past round 8, so Pack-a-Punch was my main target. Round 6, and I got a lucky dig site giving me a free KRM. Now the gun may have been free, but that is also our first war option crossed off, leaving us with 1 war buy and 1 box spin left. End of round 7, and the Mauser is thrown into the Pack-a-Punch, giving us the Boom Hilda and the fattest sense of security since West Orange Pavilion Hyde Paul Blot. Now it's round 8, and the Jerkoff is here, and oh well, he's dead. Yeah, gotta love the Boom Hilda. But now that the Panzer is dead, we can begin the real challenge of getting Electric Cherry from the Wonder Fizz. First spin, and I of course get Mule Kick, as always. But we aren't waiting around too much longer, as the very next spin we get Cherry, meaning I can now just go and buy all of my other perks from the machines around the map. By round 11, I have finally got my first 4 perks, being Electric Cherry, Quick Revive, Mule Kick, and Speed. Once I had acquired these perks, I went to get my free Pack-a-Punch gun, which was of course the Barrage. The Pack-a-Punch to Weevil. Thanks, game. Now, I may have been cruising through these rounds and very quickly gathering my perks, but you see, that was the easy part. As now I would quite frankly just have to pray to the zombie and RNG gods to be on my side, which they of course weren't. Not only had they given me the barrage, which I very quickly realized was garbage without double tap, I couldn't get a single zombie blood to drop. Like, at all. It wasn't until round 14 where I actually got my very first zombie blood of the entire game. And I of course didn't find a single red dig site in the time I had, but I did rule out several spawn points, so woo, I guess. Round 16, I finally got fed up with the barrage, so I swapped it out for the STG. Not that it would be much better, as I still didn't have double tap, but that was now both of my war buys done. The rounds just keep on going, and the zombie bloods just continue to not drop. That is until round 18 where I got my second of the game, and once again I didn't find a single red dig site. At this point I'd probably checked about half of all the spawns and still hadn't found a single one. And I won't lie, I was getting a little worried. It was also now where things actually started to get a little difficult, and by difficult I mean shit was tough. The round number just continues to climb and I'm still not getting zombie bloods. In fact, my next and final zombie blood drop was on round 23, and guess what? I didn't find a single red dig site again. I won't lie, I'm panicking. It's round 24 and not a single red dig site has been found, and honestly I only needed one, which would have gotten me stamina up, and then I could have got double tap from the free perk reward and I would have been golden, but that wasn't going to happen, and on round 24 I got myself trapped and taken down. Upon being revived, there was no escape and it's game over. I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't expecting this to be that hard. Like, seriously, all you need is zombie bloods, but apparently they just don't exist, which is quite ironic considering Origins is where they were first introduced, but I mean, like, come on. Anyway, I ran it back. Now let me tell you, when I say things fell apart, I mean they crashed and burned. Second attempt, it's round 3, and I decided to just rip both box spins whilst I can. First hit, we get an RK5. Great. Before the second spin, I try and take out a few zombies. One drops an insta-kill, which I at first miss as I didn't want to grab the nuke, and in turn I get hit twice. I grab the insta-kill on my second try, and as I turn back towards the box, I get hit again and take it down. Now, I didn't see this zombie at all, and it's only now as I'm editing that I actually spot him. I turn around so fast here that this zombie is literally a blur. Some like ninja tomfoolery right there. Attempt 3 it is. Round 3, and I get trapped with just a Mauser and no ammo, and I'm forced into buying the VMP. Not exactly a purchase I wanted to make, but it's not an awful gun, and it does save my life here. Soon after, Gen 3 is on, and I spin the box and get the HVK, which I take over the VMP. But it didn't really matter what the box gave me, as I was dead on round 6. And yes, you did just see a raindrop in my inventory, which we'll get into in a bit. Attempt 4, and this actually looks like it's going to be a good one. We pull the KRM from a dig site, and then immediately after, with our first spin of the box, I get the Ray Gun Mark II. But I do trade the Mauser for it, which I wasn't the happiest about. I should have got rid of the KRM. Oh my god, I'm so dumb. But guess what? It didn't matter, as I was dead in round 7. Which, by the way, was some BS, as I shoot this zombie basically point blank in the face with a KRM, and he just laughs it off, which panics me, and I end up dying. At this point, I'm also starting to lose my mind a little bit as well. Attempt number 5, and you guessed it, I die again on round 4, and I wasn't too happy about it. I hate this fucking map. I wanted one more chance, one more attempt, so attempt 6 it was. This time, I said F it. Gobblegums, I have them, I'm using them. Round 1, I pull a shopping free and pretty much get the entire map opened up within 60 seconds. Once it's finished, I have a decent amount of points, so I get to work on turning on all the generators. Round 3 and all of the generators are on, so I start trying to get my perks, and before long, I have both Electric Cherry and Quick Revive. It's now round 4, and I decide to use both of my spins of the box, and I get the Annihilator, which does count by the way, and the M14. Like, is this some kind of sick joke or something? Next round, and we have our next 2 perks being Mule Kick and Speed Cola. It's now pretty much just a waiting game until round 8 where the Panzer spawns, and I've got to say, I have never come closer to losing my shit than I did in round 8. Panzer is here, and before he even lands, he sets me on fire, taking me to red screen, where I then just get cornered, die to a bunch of zombies, and I was so annoyed. Mental was completely in the bin, and I was just about hanging on by a thread. Worst part now was I had lost all of my perks. My perks that I couldn't begin to get back until I got electric cherry from the Wonder Fizz. And guess who couldn't do that exact thing? Yeah, me. In fact, it was round 13 where I finally got it back. I must have spun this thing, I don't know, 20 plus times, and it just refused to pop out. I was pissed. Which was made even better when on round 16, shortly after buying all of my perks back, I went down. And this time, instead of attempting that, I just straight up quit. I'm never doing this again. I hate this challenge with every fiber in my being. I feel like my soul died a bit during this one. And yeah, I hate it. No, never again. I don't care. Don't like it. This challenge can burn in hell for all I care about. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one, if I ever recover.